Switch Station 32 back for another video. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, if you leave a like and a subscribe, it really helps the channel grow. Today we're going to do a really special one. Now, I've been looking for one of these for over a year. I finally found one at a half decent, at a really good price. So I went and picked it up, and I'm really happy to add it to the collection. That is the 80 gigabyte ps3 backwards compatible, the HE01. I'm really happy to have this in my collection. This is a really good shape. It's still shiny. Now with the gloss finish, a lot of these all got scratched up just from wiping them down and stuff. And this does have a few little minor scratches, but nothing crazy. It still looks really nice. Now I've been looking for one of these for over a year, but I couldn't find one at a half decent price because most people are trying to sell these for about $250, $300 here in my local area. And if you go on eBay, they're anywhere between $250 and $400 Canadian. So I paid $100 for this. I got a handful of games, and it was a really good price. The guy got it from, he got it off Facebook Marketplace. He actually came right to me, brought it to me. He held it for me for the night because so you could pick it up the next day. I'm really happy to have this. I had the PS3 Slim, but I want the backwards compatible one just so I can play PS2 games on it. All PS3 play PS1 games, but only this one and the AO1 20 gig and 60 gig play the PS2 games. Now the AO1 was the original console to come out. It was a 20 gig and 60 gig, and they had the PS2 built right into it. It was really cool. These, in my opinion, are still the best looking PlayStation console. It might be a little thick compared to the consoles back in the day, and some people thought these were huge. I thought they were beautiful consoles. I still to this day think this is the nicest looking console of all time, hands down. But it was really expensive. They were $700 here in Canada when they first came out. I never got one at launch. I was still young at the time. Still living with my parents. There's no way I was going to ask them for one of these for Christmas because I knew they couldn't afford. I got new consoles for Christmas when they first came out. I got Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, PS2, even the PS4, and I was an adult then. This one was so expensive I felt bad to even ask for it. And I didn't think I'd ever going to get one of these until a few years later when they came out with the Slim and they made it cheaper. But I'm really, really happy to have this in my collection. I've wanted one always. Finally got one. This is the 80 gig EO1. Now the difference between this is it ain't got the synthesizer in it. It has the PS2 CPU built in, but it's partial emulation, where the AO1 has the PS2 built right into it. The AO1 is about 99% compatible with PS2. This is about 90%. But the thing about it is that 10% of games that don't work on this, you're probably never going to run across them. This thing works really good for emulation. The other thing about it is the AO1 was a launch console, and a lot of people are starting to have problems with them now. They're starting to die on people. This one right here is the more reliable one. It came out a little bit later. Sony fixed a few problems with it. The cell processor in this is a little bit better, and it don't die as fast. Not saying these won't die, but these ones last a little bit longer, and you don't get more life out of one of these. So this one right here, in my opinion, is a better console to grab, but that's up to you. Do you want partial emulation? I'm okay with emulation, as long as my PS2 games play. And they look beautiful going over HDMI. The PS1 games look beautiful going over HDMI, and the PS2 games look beautiful going over HDMI. So for anybody that don't know, if you are looking for a backwards compatible PS3 and you don't know what to look for, the easiest possible way to find out if you have a backwards compatible PS3 is right here. 4 USB ports. If you have a PS3 that has 4 USB ports, the fat ones, it's backwards compatible. No matter what model you have the 80 gig, the 60, or the 20. If it has the 4 USB ports, it is backwards compatible. Now the difference between the 60 and the 20 was they took some stuff out of the 20 gigabyte to make it a little cheaper. It didn't have built-in Wi-Fi, but this 80 gig has the built-in Wi-Fi, has everything the original HAO1 had, It has partial emulation instead of built-in PS2. So that's the difference. And another way to tell, if that flap opens up and it has all the places for your SD slot and all the memory sticks you can put in here, and that means it's backwards compatible too, because only these two had that. They took all this stuff out later on to make this console cheaper. The reason they had to make it cheaper is because this wasn't selling really good. Even though this is the best console they ever made, it was fully backwards compatible with everything. This thing, dude, everything you ever wanted to do. It was really expensive at the time, and a lot of people couldn't afford it. So they had to make it cheaper. They turned it into just a plain PS3. But with Sony closing down the stores, right now is the time to get one of these. The next 6 months, because once they shut down that store, in my opinion, and everything just goes to disc and you can't download games and everybody's going to be looking for disc, instead of just buying a PS3 and instead of just downloading PS1 games and stuff on it, they're going to want a backwards compatible one, because once they shut them stores down, you can't buy digital games anymore. These consoles are going to go up in price because people are going to want to collect their discs, but they don't want to play them on HDMI. And these consoles are going to get really expensive in the next year or so. And they're already expensive. They're already $250 to $300 to $400, depending on where you are. So if you want to get one of these, I highly recommend you go hunt one down right now. So let's look at it. Another way to tell too is if you run your finger over the PlayStation, that's chrome inlay. You can feel it. The other ones are just painted on there and you can't feel it. And where your disc goes in, that's all chrome. Real chrome. That's not aluminum, that's chrome. There's your serial code right now, right there, as you can see, E01. And that's how you tell right there. There's your HDMI ports. And if you can tell, and you look in the vents of this PlayStation, there's hardly any dust or anything in this. This is a really clean console. This guy barely used this. There's the other side. No dust in there. Really cool. Another really important part, if you're buying this off eBay, that sticker right there at the top, make sure that's not tampered with, because that's your warranty sticker. And if that's broken, that means somebody went in here and fixed something. And if somebody went in there and fixed something, that means there was something wrong with your PlayStation and they had to fix it. So if that sticker's broken, that means somebody went into your PlayStation and tried to fix something. So something was wrong with it. Now, they could have got it working, but it could be a temporary fix. Some people do know how to fix these and they do a really good job. But I'd rather have one without that warranty sticker pop. Just knowing that the PlayStation is working fine, there's never been an issue with it, that's really good. You don't want to get a PlayStation from somebody you don't know that's been in the console and doing work on this, because you don't even know what they did, or unless you know how to take it apart, you don't know what they did or what's wrong with the console. So I'm really happy to have this in the collection. To get this in the collection for the price I paid for it, $100, I'm really happy. I've been looking for over a year. I was looking before the PlayStation Store closed down, but finally got it for $100. A guy from locally around here on Facebook Marketplace had it. And another really cool thing, when I went into this to check how much storage was on it, because they cleared it out just to make sure it was the 80 gig, this had almost 300 gigabytes of internal storage, which means the guy took the original hard drive out and put a bigger hard drive in. So it's not an 80 gig no more, it's a 300 gig, which is really cool because I was planning on doing that anyway, and now I don't have to do that. So I'm really happy about that. I was really excited when I found that out. And it came with a few games, nothing too crazy, nothing special, but it did come with some games, and I'm happy about that. Just a handful of games. I thought it came with Madagascar, but it didn't for PS2. Now this is complete if I ever do find the disc, but it came with Surf's Up for the PS3. UFC Undisputed, I already have this game, so this will be getting traded in the future. Good game though, still looks good to this day. Complete. Thought it came with NHL 09, but when I opened it, it was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which is probably a better game. And a little bit of an underrated game I was happy to get. Wheelman with Vin Diesel. And all these games are complete. And they're all in really good shape, which shows me that this guy took care of this and barely ever played it. and the original Assassin's Creed. And one of my favorite games on the PS4. I already played this all the whole series on the PS4, but I'm going to probably replay this again just on the PS3, just get the trophies for the PS3. The original Tomb Raider. And again, complete. And I'll show you one of the disc scratches on that disc at all. And then another guy I buy games from every once in a while. He gives me good deals. The 3DS games I got from the channel a couple of weeks ago were I got from this same guy. But I picked 4 games up here for 20 bucks. And they're not rare ones, but they're ones I plan on playing. This one here he just threw in, but the other 3 are ones I'm 100% going to play. Infamous. And again, complete. I'm a big Fallout fan. Fallout 3. Really cool. I'm really happy to have this in my collection. There's the back. There it is. There's the disc. But the cool part came with their survival guide. And with the PS3 era, you still got these guides, which is really cool. I love seeing these games complete. One thing, you can just tell just holding it in your hand and the heft of it, it just feels so much more quality than a PS4 game. And the last 2 are 2 I'm really excited to play. I've never touched them before. And everybody's been telling me I gotta play these 2 games. Fallout New Vegas. There's the back. Now, since Obsidian got bought by Microsoft, they're working with Microsoft, and Microsoft just bought Bethesda. There's a chance Obsidian could get together with Bethesda and make a new Fallout New Vegas game. And it is complete. There's your booklet. There's the disc for Fallout New Vegas. Has anybody's played Fallout New Vegas or any of these games, leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions of these games, see what you thought of them. And then the one I've been really looking forward to because I missed it on the PS3 and never played it. And the second one is like one of my favorite games on the PS4. And I wanted to go back and play this for a long time. Red Dead Redemption. There's the back. Now one of my buddies, this is one of his favorite games of all time. This and Secret of Mana. And he never stops talking about this game. He's been talking about it now for 10 years. Every time we talk about games, he brings this up. He loves this game. And he's been telling me I got to play this forever. I'm finally going to play it. I can't wait. This game is supposed to be really good. And for anybody who don't know, Red Dead Redemption 2 is actually the first one. Where that ends, this one begins. So if you play them back to back, and you play the second one first, and you start off, you go right into this one, and it is complete. There's your disc, your booklet, John, and your weapon wheel. And then the coolest part about this comes with the map, the poster. Really cool. This poster is in mint condition too. And for anybody that don't know, the map in the first Red Dead is actually bigger than the map in the second Red Dead. And I'm really excited to try that out, and I'm really excited to play it. Now for backwards compatible, use Simpson Road Rage. The PS3 dashboard is one of the nicest dashboards ever made. As you can see, there's 300 gigabytes of internal storage. There's the PS2. Loads right up perfectly. And looks beautiful. Like, look at that, backwards compatible. You're not going to get it looking much nicer than that. The HDMI really helps on the newer TVs. If you're playing on a CRT, don't really matter, but if you're playing on a new TV, you want to have it over HDMI. This game's a really fun game too.
Please kill me.
What do you think?
A lot of funny jokes.
Sorriest excuse for a vehicle I've ever seen. I've seen trees go through faster than pieces of rubbish.
I recommend anybody to get Simpsons Road Rage for sure.
You in school, boy?
There was a fire, and Principal Skinner and all the teachers burned up. To the Quickie Mart.
Plays flawlessly.
Boring.
I was actually really surprised how good it looked. So as you can tell, the emulation, it was not a problem. It looks really, really good. I'm really happy with this.
Awesome, man.
And it worked really good. I'm really happy with this console. This console, it works really good. I had no issues with it. It's nice and clean. As far as I know, it's clean on the inside because normally when you get it, the little holes and stuff on your where it sucks air in, your vents are all clogged up. And when you look in the vents, you don't see no dust and stuff. I'm sure there's dust in there, but it's a lot better than being completely full of dust. I'm really happy about that. Like I said, for anybody that's looking to get one of these, right now's the time. Right, the next 6 months, if this is on your wish list, I think the next 6 months is the time to get this, because I think the prices are really going to go up on this once they shut them stores down. And I really, really think if you want one, you should go get one now before it goes up another $150, $200. Because $250 right now, American, that's a lot of money. If it goes up another 150 or another 150 to 200, that's going to put it from 250 to 350 minimum. And most of them are probably going to be 450 through 450 to 500 minimum on eBay. So you don't have to hunt one of these down in the wild. If you want one, you can get them on eBay, but you're going to be spending for it. And make sure you get one that the warranty sticker label's not ripped. In my opinion, that's what I would do. Now, that'll be Switch Station 32, back for another video. If you liked it, leave a like and a subscribe. It really helps the channel grow.